What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Hope you're doing well, feeling great, and enjoying freedom. It's a great day to have a great day. Today, I wanted to talk about both silver and also some gold, and I wanted to talk about how much of the metals you should plan to bug out with if need be. We're going to get into it, but really quick, just in case you're new, make sure to subscribe for daily videos, subscribe to my second channel for weekly videos, go and get yourself some DYDSS merchandise to help support the channel. Come and join us in the Precious Metals VIP Club for giveaways, live streams, deal alerts. You can watch all of my videos early and commercial free. You can watch Sunday's video right now if you want to, and every Saturday morning I post a brand new vlog. New one came out this morning, go check it out. And of course, make sure to go and get your free couple of stocks by downloading Webull and funding your account. If you refer 3 friends to the app, by the end of the month, Webull's going to give you 1 to 15 free shares of Apple. Everything will be linked in the description. So today is Saturday, June 11th, 2022. Believe it or not, as I'm filming the video, it's Tuesday the 7th, 2022. And not only that, it's also 5:30 in the morning. Been up since 4:15 filming videos, whatever it takes. But being that this video is being filmed multiple days in advance, it means that I have no idea what the spot price is going to be by the time the video drops. So head on down to the comments and let me know the date and time you're viewing the video and what the current spot price is for you. I'm always curious. Alright, so today I wanted to talk about the silver, I wanted to talk about the gold, and sitting here on display we have a nice little selection. This is the selection that I've had on display all week, but I decided to leave it as is because today's video talking about bugging out with silver and gold, I figured I'm going to probably be using a lot of this, what you see, as an example of something that you can take with you if you are forced to bug out. Now, first things first, if you're anything like me, bugging out is an absolute last resort. And by bugging out, I mean grab and go. Grab the bug out bags, toss them in the car, and head out. Leave. If something's going wrong, if there's some type of emergency, if there's some type of disaster, if there's something going on and you need to evacuate, that's what I'm talking about when it comes to bugging out. But if you're anything like me, that's an absolute last resort thing to do. If you're anything like me, you're bugging in. You're not going anywhere. If you have 4 walls surrounding you and a roof over your head, you're not going anywhere. If you're like me, that is. But if something were to go wrong, let's just say, I don't know, some type of a flood or a fire or something like that, something where the 4 walls surrounding me and the roof over my head are no longer keeping me protected, so I have to leave. That's the only time I would bug out. But I wanted to talk about bugging out today, and I wanted to talk about bringing some silver and gold with you, because obviously if you're going to be running out the door, you're probably not going to be dragging a safe along with you. You're probably going to want to have some silver and some gold in the bug out bag, or easy to grab so you can toss it in the bug out bag if you need to head out the door. So sitting here on display, we have a nice little selection. We have a 10-ounce bull bar, we have a 10-ounce sunshine bar, a 5-ounce sunshine bar, a couple of 1-ounce bars, the American flag bar and a Westminster bar, some 90% right here, Washington quarters, Walking Liberty half dollars, Roosevelt dimes. We have a 5-ounce Aztec calendar round underneath a little pile of gold. We have a 1/4-ounce Philharmonic, 10th-ounce Philharmonic, 10th-ounce Eagle, Maple, Britannia, Krugerrand, and Kookaburra. We have some Queen's Beasts right here, the Yale and the Greyhound. We have the Creatures of the North, Kraken, and Werewolf. Then, of course, Maple, Kangaroo, Type 1, and Type 2 American Silver Eagle. So when it comes to bugging out, I don't think I need to go into full detail when it comes to the prepping supplies that you would want to take with you. I think a lot of that goes without saying. And if you're curious, I've made plenty of videos on that in the past. You should go and watch those. In today's video, I wanted to really dial in on the silver and gold that you might want to take with you in the event where you're forced to evacuate and you have no choice but to bug out. Now, in addition to the silver and gold you might want to take with you, it's probably not a half bad idea to take some cash with you as well. Easier to work with, more practical than silver and gold, especially if you're just going to a restaurant, going to a hotel, or buying quite literally anything. You probably want to get rid of the cash first before you have to go and part ways with any of your silver and your gold. But when it comes to financial preparation, whether it be for the long term or whether it be for short-term emergencies, kind of like what we're talking about right here, forced evacuations, when it comes to something like this, it really comes down to how many people you're financially preparing for. If you're someone like me, you only got to prepare for one person. If you have a wife and 3 kids, well, then there you go. You got to multiply the financial preps by 5. Now you're prepping for 5 people. You're stacking for 5 people. You're prepping for 5 people. You're taking care of 5 people. So it really comes down to how many people you are financially preparing for. So for example, as a cash emergency fund, you want to total up your monthly expenses, your grand total monthly expenses, mandatory expenses. I'm not talking about the Netflix account. I'm not talking about going out to eat every other night. I'm talking about the mandatory to survive expenses. Rent, insurance, money for food, stuff like that. You want to total up those expenses, and then you probably want to multiply it by at least 3 for 3 months worth of expenses. And then you want to multiply it by however many people you're financially preparing for. So take your monthly expenses, multiply it by 3 for 3 months, then multiply it by just 1 if you're prepping for yourself, multiply it by 5 if you're prepping for 5 people. That's how you want to break that down. But when it comes to money to grab and go, you're probably not going to need 3 months worth of cash as an emergency fund to run out the door with. You're probably going to need some. But when it comes to silver and gold, there's no set amount that I can sit here and say that you need. I'm not going to say that, oh, you need X amount of silver, X amount of gold. It really comes down to how many people you're financially preparing for. And in a situation like that, I think gold would actually probably make more sense to be taking with you, being that you can pack so much more value into just such a tiny little piece of gold. I mean, for example, most of these fractional gold coins right here, the little 10th ounce gold coin, in terms of currency, each one of these little ones is worth about $200, maybe a little bit more if you factor in the fractional gold premiums. But about $200. You know what else is about $200 or a little bit more than $200, not including a premium? 10-ounce silver bar. So you can decide which one you want to take with you. You can decide which one is more practical to be carrying with you. Keep in mind, if you're bugging out, you might have to spend more time than you're used to on foot. Could happen. So do you want a block of silver about the size of a smartphone? Or would you rather have a 10th ounce gold coin about the size of a fingernail when they're worth roughly the same? Again, they both have their pros and their cons. It's all personal preference. That's a decision you have to make for yourself. And by no means do you have to choose between one 10-ounce bar and one 10th ounce gold coin. You could take both. You could take a bunch of both. You can mix and match it up. You don't have to go with fractional gold. You can go with a 1-ounce gold coin. You don't have to go with a 10-ounce silver bar. You can go with a 1-ounce silver bar. You could do what makes the most sense for you. But in the event of bugging out, you're definitely going to want something that's recognizable, because in the event that you have to part ways with something, you want to be able to do so with ease. So you're going to want to go after the sunshine rounds or the sunshine bars, the ones that have the security feature on the back with the decoder lens. You're going to want stuff like that. You're going to want the 90% junk constitutional silver quarters, dimes, maybe even $50. A lot of people are familiar with that. People know what those are. And when I say people, I'm not talking about the general population. No, the general population has no idea. General population that doesn't even know what coins of today are made of, let alone pre-65 silver coins. But you're going to want recognizable coins, rounds, and bars, so you can stop by different coin shops along the way. You might have a bug out location. You might have a designated spot to go in the event where you need to evacuate. It might be in another town, it might be in another state. It might be somewhere that you don't spend a great deal of time. And once you get to that spot, there are going to be coin shops in the area. There are going to be people that are prepping and stacking in the area that you can network with and get in contact with and work with. But if you don't spend a great deal of time in that area, you're not going to be familiar with these people. You're not going to be familiar with these coin shops. So you're going to want to have stuff that people recognize. I don't know if poured silver would make the most sense during those times. Poured silver is awesome, by the way. It looks incredible. Don't know how recognizable it is. Don't know how many people would say, hey, yeah, I know what that is, over, let's just say, a buffalo round, or a Canadian maple leaf, or a mercury dime. I'm pretty sure the more recognizable pieces would go over far better. So when it comes to storage, you can do a couple of different things. You can go and get yourself tubes for your coins. Maybe, for example, mint tubes to keep your Silver Eagles or your Canadian Maple Leafs or whatever it is that you're carrying. If you're going for generic rounds, if you have these generic tubes for generic rounds, you're definitely going to want to tape them shut. If you're going to be taking 90% with you, you're probably going to want to put them in coin rolls. Not only is it an easy way to store the coins, makes them a whole lot quieter. If you're bugging out, you probably don't want to be walking around sounding like... Probably don't want coins jingling all over the place. Could draw unnecessary attention to you. When it comes to gold, you might not want to carry a ridiculous amount of gold with you. Again, you can pack a lot of value into such small pieces of gold. If you take 1 ounce of gold, according to currency, that's like $2,000 right there. So I don't know how many 1 ounce gold coins you would really need to be walking around with, but if you want to take a couple of those, absolutely. I wouldn't advise taking an entire tube of 1 ounce gold coins. Like if you're going to walk around with 20 gold buffaloes, I don't know how much sense that would make. A whole tube of gold buffaloes? $30,000, $40,000? Probably not necessary and probably not very smart, so you probably don't want to do that. But taking 1 or 2 with you could help you out, especially if you need to part ways with something. Gold for the larger transactions, silver for the smaller transactions. But I wouldn't take a ridiculous amount of either with you. I think in a situation like that, cash would make far more sense. During an emergency where you frantically need to grab and go and buy whatever it is that you need to buy, cash is king in that area. Where you have a little bit more time, silver and gold, I would say, are absolutely superior to the dollar. 100%. But cash is far more convenient, especially when you're working with people or coin shops that you're not overly familiar with, or if you need to go food shopping, or if you need to fork over some cash for a hotel, or if you need to get some car repairs done when you're not in town, or your bug out location in a different town, a different state, whatever the case may be, you're probably going to want to have more cash than anything else. And also, not for nothing, silver and gold would really weigh you down if you're carrying a ridiculous amount with you. You probably don't want hundreds of ounces of silver in a bag that you're carrying around. Number one, it's a liability right there. Like if something were to go wrong, if you were to lose it, if it were to get stolen, if something were to happen, that's a lot of money right there. And also, it's heavy. You probably don't want to be carrying around crazy amounts of unnecessary weight. Especially if the reason you're bringing it with you is so that you can part ways with it for some cash to go and buy something. If you're bringing the silver and gold with you, in case you need to sell it for cash, it might make more sense to just bring larger amounts of cash. I think that probably makes far more sense, but you're definitely going to want to take some silver and gold with you. And by the way, when I say bugging out, I'm not talking about leaving and never returning. I'm not talking about just leaving the safe at the house and never coming back for it. I'm talking about a short-term emergency where you have no choice but to leave. If something's wrong, if there's a natural disaster, if something's taking place and you have no choice, like it's just not an option. You got to evacuate. You're going to come back. I'm talking about short-term emergencies here where you have to bug out for a certain amount of time and can then return. You're going to want to prepare yourself for things like that. You're going to want to have the bug out bags locked and loaded and ready to go, sitting there like in the closet right next to your front door at all times. You just leave it in there. And hopefully you can go the rest of your life never having to grab that bag. But in the event of something taking place, you can grab that bag as you're walking out the door, throw it in the car, and you're good to go. And obviously, I would say have a bug out bag for everyone that you're prepping for. Again, I'm prepping for just myself over here, but if you have a wife and 3 kids, 5 bug out bags. Put some canned goods in each one. Put some water bottles in each one. Put some clothes in each one. I would say put the clothes in either one of those larger Ziploc bags or like a vacuum sealable bag. Removes all the air, so it kind of shrinks, reduces how much room it takes up, and also keeps everything dry if there's a flood or something like that. Flashlights, batteries, stuff like that. You're going to want to have the bug out bags packed. 1 for yourself, maybe even 2 for yourself, 1, maybe even 2 for each member of the family. But in addition to the preps, you can't forget about financially preparing as well. It's just as important. All of the supplies, all of the food preps will get you so far. But if you need to buy something, if you need to pay for something, if you go to the store, you need to get some car repairs done, or God forbid, have to buy a whole new car, they're probably not going to accept food as payment. So you want to be well diversified. You want to make sure you are well-rounded. You want to make sure that you are, today by the way, if you haven't started, start today. You want to make sure that you are building yourself a multifaceted preparation system for you and your family. So that if something were to go wrong, you stand a far better chance than most other people out there. If something were to happen, you'll have a variety of different ways that you can, at the very least, attempt to combat the issue. What would you rather do at the end of the day? Try to solve the problem? Or just sit there crying because there's a problem? The choice is yours. But I want you guys to head on down to the comments and let me know anything and everything related to today's video topic. When it comes to bugging out with the silver and the gold, have you ever been in a situation where this is just something that you had to do? Maybe you've been there before. Have you ever had to bug out? And if so, did you take the silver and gold with you? All of it, some of it, a lot of it, just a small amount of it? Maybe you left all of it and just took the cash and then came back for the silver and gold later? And then when it comes to the hypothetical, just imagine preparing for something like this. How much silver and how much gold do you think would be smart to take with you in the event where you're forced to bug out? Head on down to the comments and let me know. If you guys like today's video, please hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, subscribe to my second channel, which is my backup channel for exclusive weekly content. Go and get yourself some DYDSS merchandise to help support the channel in the biggest possible way. Got t-shirts, hoodies, stickers, coffee mugs, and a bunch of different designs. A lot of the products are helping us raise some funds and awareness for different charity organizations, by the way. DYDSS store will be linked in the description. Come and join us in the Precious Metals VIP Club, which is where I do giveaways every single month, live streams multiple times a week, deal alerts on silver and gold almost every single day. You can watch all of my videos early and commercial free. You can watch Sunday's video right now if you want to, and every Saturday morning I post a brand new vlog. Just posted one this morning. Go check it out. And there are a ton of other perks as well. VIP Club link in the description. I guarantee you the value exceeds the cost. And of course, last but certainly not least, make sure to go and get your free couple of stocks by downloading Webull and funding your account. Normally it's 2 free stocks. They bumped it up to 6. The promo might have gotten extended, but you're going to get somewhere between 2 and 6 free stocks just for downloading Webull and funding your account. It could be as little as a penny. It still works. It still counts. You still get your free stocks. And if you refer 3 friends to the app, by the end of the month, Webull's going to give you 1 to 15 free shares of Apple, each worth about $140 to $150 right now, which I know sounds ridiculous, but this is part of their advertising budget. Rather than wasting currency on billboards and TV commercials, they reward their users for helping them build their app with them. Don't pass up on an opportunity. Webull link in the description. Time is running out. If you don't want the stocks, go and get them anyway, then just sell them. Congratulations. Now you have the cash to go and get you some silver or some gold or maybe some prepping supplies if that's what you want. Webull link in the description. And I want you guys to head on down to the comments and let me know once again, what are your thoughts on everything shared in today's video? When it comes to not only prepping, but financially prepping as well. When it comes to potentially bugging out, which I know isn't really what anybody would want to do. Most of us would rather bug in. But in the event where you have no choice, you have to grab and go. How much silver would you take with you? How much gold would you take with you? What makes the most sense? And do you agree with me that in a short-term emergency like that, cash would probably make more sense? And I personally believe it's probably a better idea to take more cash than silver and gold. It's more practical and it won't weigh you down. But you're going to want to take the precious metals as well. Head on down to the comments and let me know anything and everything related to today's video topic. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you tomorrow. Don't you dare stop smiling. Peace.